All right, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to today's Biz Talk. Today, we're talking about the importance of market research. Does everybody understand what market research is? Put your hand up if you know what market research is. Come on, put your hand up if you know. Very good, Gerard. Okay, very good, Marfi. All right, so market research is very important. It doesn't matter whether you run business selling products or delivering service. Hi, Charlene. What do you think market research means, Charlene? Go ahead. You want to talk to me, Charlene?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good
I
evening,
can't hear you, Charlene. You
everyone.
need to speak up.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Hi, Charlene.
Hello.
When you
Yeah.
say market research, what does it mean?
In my own ideas, because I have experience on also, you have to find out in the market what should be the products that is demand and also the correct price of the product.
Very good. Excellent. Very good, Charlene. You're on the right track. Thank you, young lady. Good effort. So,
Welcome.
Charlene has just given her explanation of what is market research. Okay. Well, let me just explain. Before we market any product or service, you should all know that the first thing you have to do is make sure you understand who your customer is, what your customer wants, and the type or level of service that your customer wants. So, the first basic discipline before you start any business or try to market any product is you must be market centric. Does everybody remember the five elements of customer and market centricity that we learned in a previous Biz Talk? There's five of them, Raina, Marthy, five. The first one is you must be customer centric. Can everybody write it down? Number one, you must be customer centric. Number two, you must be product centric. Number three, you must be price centric. Number four, you must be market centric. And number five, you must be service centric. So, what do we mean by the word centric? As Miss Anu will tell you, if you're a mother and you've got a young kid going to school, you have to be child centric. That means you have to every day, every night, every afternoon. You have to think what they're thinking before they think it, right? So mummy has to know whether he's telling the truth about his homework or he's lying about his homework. Because if not, mummy will get a call from the teacher the next day, and mummy will have to go to school to meet his teacher. So it's the same with your customer. To be centric means to put yourself in your potential customer's shoes and ask yourself, who are my customers? Why do they want to buy my product? How much can they afford to pay for my product? And which market needs my product? Can I sell it in Saudi Arabia? Can I sell it in the Philippines? Is it legal? And then what sort of service do they expect? Do they expect to be able to buy it online? Or do they expect to go to a shop and buy it? Ma, you need to switch on a camera, ma'am. The blue screen means you're absent. You are not allowed to switch off your camera unless you can show that you're at work. Please respect me as a lecturer and follow the rules. Thank you. Okay, so you have to understand the five C's of being customer centric. That goes for Angel Chris Palat. I will not accept a black screen, Angel. If you do not on your camera now, I will treat you as absent. unless you're at work and you can show me that you're at work. Your camera must be switched on. I do not need to see a black screen. I don't even know if you're there. So if you want to be treated as present, you must switch on your camera. Okay, thank you. So carefully, it's okay if you're late as long as you're here, Maria. Um, the most important thing when we market a product is that we market it to the right customers in the right country at the right price. Otherwise, all the money we spend on marketing will be lost. T. Lin Fong Din, your cartoon is not acceptable. Unless you switch on your camera, T. Lin Fong Din, you'll be marked as absent. No cartoon. Butch Amaquin Minna, you need to switch on your camera. The white background is not acceptable. If I can't see your face and you're not at work, you'll be marked absent. Okay, so let's go on. Please don't make me repeat this. I've said it 4 times already. Tiara Ahmaro, you need to show your face on camera, Tiara. Otherwise, you'll be absent. You need to show me your face with the light on. Black screen, or if I can't see you, it means you're not here. Tiara Ahmaro. Thank you. All right, so let's focus on the lesson now. We're talking about reaching the right customers, reaching the right market. So everybody understands the 5 rules: customer centric, product centric, price centric, and market centric. You need to put yourself in those shoes, understand the product or the service that these people want before you try to sell it. I'll give you a simple example. Example number 1. If you are selling ladies' swimsuits, swimsuits, bikinis, you have to make sure you are making the right bikinis for the right age persons. If you want to sell bikinis to high school girls, they want very fashionable bikinis. If you want to sell bikinis to 40-year-old women, it's a different design of bikinis. So first, you must understand who are you going to sell to, what designs do they want, what is the trend in their country, and what is the difference between a 16-year-old girl wearing a bikini and a 35-year-old woman wearing that bikini. You have to understand that. If you don't understand that, no matter how good your product is, no one will buy it. Does everybody understand what I mean so far? Put up your hands. Show me your hands. Very good. All right, let's go on to our lesson today. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Can everybody see my PowerPoint slides? Ed? Thanks, Ed. All right, let's start. So, how to do market research and stay competitive so you can sell products or services and make money. Because we're all in business to make money. Would you agree with that, Ed? If we don't make money, we go bankrupt. Charlene, love, you need to switch on your camera. Charlene, love, Acuned, please switch on your camera. Ladies and gentlemen, you are grown students. I have reminded you regarding attendance 4 times today. Please, I expect you to switch on your camera and keep it on while I'm talking and not behave like primary school kids. Please, if you're at work and you've sent the message, then please make sure you're at work in case I check on you. That's all. Thank you. All right. So let's go on. Market research is a tool that every business must use. Without market research, a business will go out of business. So let's talk about market research. What is market research? Why do we do market research? Well, in simple terms, my dear students, it's simply a process of getting information about your potential customers, about the correct market, and about what these customers want. Why do we need to do market research, Ed, Charlene, Erlene? It's because without research, we could waste money marketing a product in the wrong market to the wrong customers at the wrong price. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Let me ask you a question. If a 15-year-old schoolgirl goes to a mall to buy a bikini to use for her school swimming lessons, can every girl afford to buy a Versace bikini for $2,000? No. So first you have to understand, who is your target market? Is it the average schoolgirl? Is it schoolgirls with rich parents who will pay $500 for a swimsuit? Who wants to buy your product? Who can afford your product? And what sort of design or color do they expect? You can only understand this through market research. Let's look at what is market research in detail. First, what you look at. You look at who your customers are, who your competitors are, and what is the market trend? What does the market want so far as your product is concerned? Number two, you have to do types of research. You might want to do surveys. You want to go out on the street and show your product and ask people if they're prepared to buy it. You do interviews. You talk to your family and people in your area to see if they're interested in buying your product. This is primary research, which is a must. Then you get secondary research. You look at who your competitors are, what are their designs, how much are they selling their product for, and who are they selling it to. Then you need to get to understand certain things. What are they? You need to understand what the customer wants. Because remember, customers will not buy anything unless you convince them that they need it. When do you go to a restaurant? You don't go to a restaurant when you can't eat. You only go to a restaurant when you're hungry and you need to eat. Is that right, Charlene? Very good, Charlene. So you need to understand your customers' needs. You need to understand how they buy online or at a shop. You need to understand how much they can afford to pay. And you need to understand what today is in demand. For example, you sell ladies' swimsuits. Ed Robinson sells ladies' miniskirts. Ed is a casual dress designer. Charlene is a specialist in designing swimsuits. So both of them need to understand what is in demand, what is the fashion. Otherwise, no matter what they design, will not sell. And last but not least, you have to ask yourself why it matters. Is my product the right quality? Is my product the right color? Is my product the right design for 16-year-old teenagers? Is my product affordable? And is there enough people in my country to buy my product? And can I rely on just one product, or do I need to continually come out with better products and better designs? So let's talk about an example of market research. And this example is a common example. It's true that it refers to the coffee business, but this applies to any business. Number one, you need to study, review all the people that you know that drink coffee. Okay, visit local coffee shops and watch what they're doing. You need to run surveys, interviews, talk to people on the road, look at industry reports and how other coffee chains are doing. You need to find the customer that drinks coffee and find out whether they want to buy coffee with normal milk, oat milk, or soya bean milk. You need to understand exactly what the customer wants in coffee, how much they're prepared to pay for your coffee, and then you need to position your product and the recipe based on what you've learned about the customer. All of this comes back to my first point, being customer centric. All right, so let's go on and talk now about when should you conduct market research. Market research should be carried out before starting a business. Because if you start a business without knowing what the market wants, you'll lose your money. No one will buy your product. Let me ask you a question. Does anybody still take photos with a camera with film, then send the film to a laboratory for processing and pick up the pictures? No. Now we use digital cameras, correct? Yes or no, Ed? Digital cameras. Charlene uses a digital camera. So if you were going to start a shop just to develop film and print photos, will you make money? No, you'll lose your investment. So before you open any business, you have to understand what product the market wants and what quality product, what price they're prepared to pay, and how they want it. So before starting a business, you need to do research which helps you determine whether there is a demand for your product and there's enough customers in your country to buy your product, or should you put that product on Shopee or Amazon and sell it internationally? Let me give you an example. And this example is one that was recently used at a university for our master's degree students when they were doing a case study for them as part of their assessment. And this was a scenario. A group of entrepreneurs plans to open a milk tea shop. Before investing their money, they survey local residents around their area. They knocked on the door of about 500 residents and students to find out their preferred flavors. What flavor tea do you like? What price are you prepared to pay? How often will you drink bubble tea? And do you want it delivered or will you come to the shop and buy it? Well, as a result of this came what we know today all over the world as the bubble tea business. Do any of you here drink bubble tea? Yes or no? Does anybody like bubble tea? Come on, you've all had bubble tea before, right? Yes or no? Put your hand up if you drink bubble tea. Come on, show me hands. Bubble tea. Very good. Well, bubble tea originally started in Taiwan and it flourished in different parts of the world. Then China picked it up and they changed its name to milk tea. And then milk tea found that milk tea alone is boring. So they brought back bubble tea. All right. So all of this started because somebody wanted to come up with an idea. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay, very good. Let's go on. All right, so we understand about the bubble tea business and the milk tea business. Okay, so number two, when should we do market research? We should do market research before expanding into a new market. Business should study the new market, understand customer preferences, know who their competition is, and know what local trend is. So you don't only do it when you start the business the first time, but every time you decide maybe I should take my product from Manila to China or from the Philippines to China, you have to basically do market research in China before you expand. Otherwise, all the profit you make in the Philippines will become losses in China. For example, Starbucks plans to open stores in a new city in the Philippines. Before they do that, they go to that city and look at how many people live there, what is the age demographic, how many of them drink Starbucks, how many of them can afford Starbucks, and whether there's any competition in the area. Starbucks do this every time they open a store. Coca-Cola does it before they put a bottler in a different country to distribute Coca-Cola. This is basic fundamental before you go and expand your business. You also do it every time you decide to launch a new product. Why do you have to do it before you launch a new product? Because you have to find out whether there's enough people out there that really want or need your new product. For example, Apple conducts customer research before releasing a new iPhone model to understand which features of the iPhone need to be improved. Okay, number 4, when customer preferences change. McDonald's notices more customers want to eat healthy food. Customers are now scared of eating French fries and double cheeseburgers every day. So they came out with salads. In some markets, McDonald's sells fruit salad, not only green salad. This is based on the local customer demand because different people in different country have different preferences. In America, they like junk food. In the UK, they love junk food. In Singapore, they're very healthy. So it depends on the different market and what the consumer preferences are as to what new products McDonald's would bring to market. And this is all about understanding your market, understanding your customers. All right, so does everybody follow what I mean by this so far? Yeah? Does anybody here eat McDonald's? Put your hand up if you eat McDonald's. Come on. I know Anu eats McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Pizza Hut, but how many others here eat McDonald's? Put your hands up. Very good. Okay, Raina, what's your favorite McDonald's product, Raina? Go ahead, Raina. What's your favorite burger?
The cheeseburger.
Okay, why?
Because I love cheese.
Good, excellent. All right, that's a very good choice. Okay, so if you couldn't get that burger at McDonald's, would you still go there or would you go somewhere else? I can't hear you, Raina. Open your microphone. Sorry, once again, open your microphone, please.
What was the question again, sir? Can you
Sorry,
repeat it
if you
again?
couldn't get your favorite burger at McDonald's, would you be prepared to go to Burger King if they had your favorite burger?
Yeah.
Very good. So what Rain is saying is you, the business, have to meet your customers' preferences because the customer knows what they want. That is part of doing market research. Te Ma Quinn Farm. Unless I can see you on camera, or you've sent me a message to say that you're at work, you will be marked absent. If I have to warn you again, I will just mark you absent. Thank you. Okay, so please understand, market research is critical. It doesn't matter if there's a price difference. Guys, somebody just said, what happens if the other competitor's more expensive? That is customer preference. Let me give you an example. I'm a Muslim. I don't eat pork. I only eat beef. If I go to your store and you no longer sell beef, you decide to sell pork, am I still going to come to your restaurant? No, it doesn't matter about the price of pork. I can't eat pork. So you as a business have to adjust to customer preferences. And the only way you can do that, my dear students, is through market research. How many of you eat fried chicken? Now be honest with me. Who loves fried chicken? Put your hands up. Very good, very good. Okay, where are you, Jonalyn? Jonalyn, what sort of fried chicken do you like, Jonalyn? What's your favorite brand? Jonalyn, what's your favorite fried chicken?
Jollibee.
You're a Jollibee fan. Very good. Anu's son is a KFC fan. Is that right? Wally is a KFC Jollibee fan. I jump depending on where there's less queue. Now, let me ask you, why does Jonalyn like Jollibee? Why do you like Jollibee, Jonalyn? Tell us.
It's crispy and juicy.
And the chicken is bigger, right?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you, Jonalyn. Now, if I said to Jonalyn, Jonalyn, there's a KFC next door. It's $1 cheaper. Do you think she's going to go there? Jonalyn, will you go there?
No.
Because she doesn't feel satisfied. KFC's dry. The size of the chicken pieces are smaller. But for little guy, Anu's son, he loves KFC. It's smaller. He can hold it in his hand. It's got the right texture to the skin. I love the skin. I buy KFC, I eat the skin and leave the rest in the box. I'm addicted to KFC. I've eaten it all my life, like Anu's son. All right? But different people have different preferences. You, as a business, have to satisfy your customer's preference. The customer doesn't satisfy you. Noted, Nova, as long as you're at work and you can prove it. Thank you. Here in Malaysia, sir, the chicken is big. Okay. If in Malaysia the chicken is big, that's okay. Because KFC in Malaysia use healthy grown Malaysian chicken. Good for them. Okay, but if I don't live in Malaysia, am I going to travel all the way to Malaysia just to eat Malaysian chicken? It'll cost me more than the chicken. So it depends on the preference in that market. And just by the way, McDonald's used to be a market leader in chicken in Malaysia. McDonald's serves more chicken per capita with rice in their restaurants in Malaysia than any other fast food chain. However, recently, KFC has brought very close competition to McDonald's. Okay? Hong Kong, for example, KFC is a major player. But they have now a problem in certain countries because as soon as Jollibee gets there, McDonald's and KFC are suffering. Jollibee is penetrating new markets all over the world. Every market where Jollibee exists, McDonald's and KFC have lost some of their customers. In actual fact, Jollibee is the biggest and most dangerous competitor selling fried chicken. And who are their biggest competitors? McDonald's and KFC. And whichever market Jollibee is in, Jollibee wins. Why? Because the Filipino taste bud, Filipino overseas workers are everywhere. And guess who they like? They like the Jollibee taste. And most foreigners that go to Jollibee now see the chicken is bigger, it's juicier, and it's got a different taste. So McDonald's says, our biggest threat today is Jollibee. So it all comes back to market preference and customer preference. Okay, good. Excellent, excellent. And yes, Marisol, Jollibee has a very, very targeted market research practice. They look at how many Filipino overseas workers there is in a country before they open a restaurant. Very good, Marisol. Okay, does everybody understand that? Because they do their market research, right or wrong? Yes or no? All right, let me ask you another question. And this is a question or example I use when there's a lot of girls in my classes. Girls, most of you go to a beauty salon once a month, right? Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Come on, hands up. All right, can I ask you, when you go to a beauty salon, it's because two things. One, your boyfriend likes you looking different. Two, because you like that beauty salon and the person who looks after you. And three, it's because you're sick of the way you look. Am I clear on those 3 points? Are they the reasons usually? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, very good. So let's go on to this. Today, there is a new fab in Reina City. A Korean salon has opened in her city, and all the girls are going there. Every time Reina walks past, there's a queue of girls waiting outside. And Reina wants to know why. And she asks, and she said, they tell her that all the hairstylists inside are young Korean guys wearing very tight black t-shirts and black leather pants, and they're hunks, and they're very good with new hairstyles. So Reina decides to go there. Now, there's a difference. Usually Reina pays $20, but suddenly she has to pay $65, right? Now, let me ask you a question. Reina has to make a decision. Noted, Leah. Reina has to make a decision. Does she want to match the trend and pay $65 because it's trendy? Or is she going to look old-fashioned like all the other girls and stay with the $20 place? It doesn't matter about the price. It becomes a customer's preference. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? And there's something else that drives Reina. Does anybody know what it is? Something else is working inside her brain. Does anybody know what it is? Come on, guys. What do you think it is? Reina's going to ask herself, do I want to see that Korean hunk in there? Maybe he's better looking than my boyfriend. Number two, Reina's going to say, hold on, if I don't go there and I go to the old place, maybe I'm never going to pick up a rich boyfriend to marry. These are just presumptions, but psychologically, something will be playing in the back of Reina's mind that is going to drive her to make a decision over saving $40 or looking better. Am I right or wrong? Does everybody understand that? Sorry, Reina, I'm just using you as an example. I do apologize, Reina, okay? I do apologize. Okay, does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay, Judy Ann, do you agree with that example, Judy Ann? Okay, Judy Ann's the same, Raina. She would go for the $65 place too. Judy Ann wants to meet a young Korean guy too. Anybody else wants to meet a young Korean guy? Put your hand up. Come on, put your hand up. Anybody? It's okay. All right, good. Excellent. I've got 5 girls here that want to meet a Korean guy. I'll try to find the place and send you the address, girls, but I wouldn't know where to start. So I'm just using that as a hypothetical example. All right, guys, great. So customer preference, the psychological thinking of what customers want and when they want it, is the reason why we have to do market research. Do you understand that, Butch Amaquin? Very good. Okay, can I ask you here, how many drink beer? Anybody drinks beer? Put your hand up. Come on, be honest. I know some of you are beerholics. Who's the beerholic here? Wally and Judy, Butch, come on. Judalyn? Okay, good. Come on, I'm sure there's hundreds of... Oh, Miami is also a beerholic. Very good, Miami. You're the best. Okay, anybody else who's a beerholic? Put your hand up. Come on, show me your real hands. Very good. Okay, so when we go to buy beer, do we drink beer based on taste or on price? I'll tell you my story. If it's the end of the month and my wife has spent all my money, I drink the cheapest beer. But if I can afford it, I pay for the beer that tastes better. Is that right or wrong? Correct? But I have no choice because my wife's the boss. My salary goes into the bank, she controls it. And if there's not enough there for me to buy the beer I want, I've got no choice. I drink cheap beer, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? It's the same as poor Anu. If she wants to buy expensive makeup, but her son decides he wants a new laptop for school, guess what? She goes without her makeup. Am I right, Anu? Okay, so it's customer preference. Customers have a reason for everything they buy, how much they're prepared to pay, and when they buy it. Do we all understand that simple philosophy now? Yes or no? Very good. Let's keep going. Okay, guys. So we said customer preferences change or when sales or customer engagement decline. For example, you sell bikinis. A local clothing store experiences declining sales. Customer surveys reveal that shoppers prefer online shopping, leading the store to launch an e-commerce website and online promotions. Let me ask you a question, and this is a very simple question. Where do most university or working women shop? Does anyone know? What is their favorite shopping place? Anybody want to put their hand up and tell me? Come on, you should know. Raina, where do you shop? Online, right? You sit in bed every night at 10 o'clock and you go shopping with mum or dad's or boyfriend's credit card. Is that right?
I use mine.
You use your own. You're a good girl. Can you tell my wife to use her own instead of mine, please? Maybe you should give her a talk one day. Anu, you use yours or your husband's? Yeah, I know. All right. Anu's like my wife. She uses her husband's. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me ask you a question. Why does Raina shop with her credit card at home? Raina, why do you buy online? Can you tell everyone? Raina?
For convenience, because
Very good.
I.
And you can sit in bed, look at all the models you want. You can look in the mirror,
Mm,
compare the size, order it, and 2 days later you come home from work and it's waiting for you. Why should
right.
she waste her time walking to malls and shops? So convenience is another element. So if Raina wanted to buy swimwear, she would look for the best swimwear available online and order it. Customer convenience, customer habits, they change all the time, right? There's only one thing that would take Raina away from e-commerce, I hope. That would be is if there's a brand new designer store selling everything 75% discount as an opening promotion. Then Raina will probably take a sick day from work, take her credit card, and go to the sale, right? That would be the reason. But most people today wouldn't bother. It's more convenient to buy online. So if you as a business don't do market research and provide your products both online and offline, you're basically losing market. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Very good. Okay, so remember, customer preferences, customer preferences are very, very important. When competitors gain an advantage, for example, Coca-Cola monitors customer feedback and competitor activities when Pepsi launches a successful marketing campaign. Coca-Cola finds that in certain markets, Pepsi are selling a new drink that's got caramel flavor in it. So what does Coca-Cola do? They launch Caramel Coke. This comes through market research, which Coca-Cola continuously does in every market every time there's a change in sales. Also, when they decide to rebrand a product. Does everybody know about the sugar exercise that soft drink makers went through? What was the sugar exercise? Does anyone know? Who can tell me? What was the sugar exercise? Butch, what happened to soft drinks?
Yes, sir. They increased the tax.
So what happened? They reduced the sugar in soft drinks?
Yes.
Do you
Yes,
know
sir.
why
They
they did
reduced.
it?
Yes, sir. They reduced the sugar content.
But why? Why did they do it?
No, no. To continue their business, sir. To lessen the excess tax.
It lessened the tax. Very good. Because the British government in 2010 threatened to impose a 45% tax on any soft drink that had a high sugar content. As soon as the UK brought out that rule, the healthy rule, every country in the world followed. So Coca-Cola had an option: reduce the sugar or have 45% tax on its product, which would make its product far from affordable. People would no longer be able to afford Coca-Cola. A can of Coca-Cola would go from £1 to £4. No one will pay that. So as a result of the threat of a sugar tax, Coca-Cola and every soft drink company in the world had to come up with a new taste. So now we have Coca-Cola sugar-free, we have Coca-Cola caffeine-free, we have Coca-Cola diet Coca-Cola, all right? We have Coca-Cola less sugar. We have about 5 different elements of Coca-Cola. People still buy it. And what happened? After they launched the no sugar or low sugar, more people became health conscious and started buying Coca-Cola. So their sales didn't go down, they went up. But what drove them to go up? It wasn't by choice, it was by government law. So if Coca-Cola didn't follow that law, what would have happened to Coca-Cola? Butch, their product would have been overpriced. People would have stopped buying it, right? So what they did when they brought out the new product, less sugar, Diet Coke, caffeine-free Coke, regular Coke, all of these different types of Coke or variations, they had to rebrand. They had to go and talk to the customers on the street and say, here, try it. It's healthy. If they didn't do it, Coca-Cola would go bankrupt. You're right, because no one would buy their drinks. They would be too expensive due to the sugar tax. It's not only Coca-Cola, every soft drink company in the world. Pepsi, F&N, Dr. Pepper. And you think that's bad, right? You know, alcohol, beer, doesn't have much sugar in it. It's made out of wheat and hay, right? And malt. But, you know, think of it. If tomorrow the government were going to impose some sort of ban on beer and put a higher tax on it, beer companies would do the same because they don't want to lose market. But beer is already taxed based on alcohol content. So it's already taxed. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay, great. So everybody now understands why market research is essential. Okay, great. Great, Irma. Very good to hear you, Irma. All right. Do you understand what I've said, Ariane? Ariane Sale? You understand? Very good. What about you, Tao Trung? Do you understand, Tao? Very good. Okay. Remember, guys, that business today is only existing in order to make profit, Maksud. Do you understand what I'm saying, Mr. Maksud? Hello, Maksud. Can you understand what I'm saying? Maksud? Hi, Maksud. Talk to me. Where's Maksud gone? You understand. Very good. Thank you, sir. All right, guys. Everybody who switched off their camera, you better make sure you've sent me a message you're at work, because if you haven't, you'll be marked absent. Okay, let's go on. So let's go on and let's move on to the next part. Rebranding or repositioning, as we just spoke about Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, as a result of the sugar tax threat. Okay, let's go on. Number 8, before making major business decisions. Example, Netflix analyzes customer viewing habits before investing millions of dollars in making new television series or dramas, ensuring that there's a strong audience demand for Netflix content. Does anybody here use Netflix? Yes or no? Who watches Netflix? Okay, every time you switch on your Netflix channel, something's going to happen. Netflix knows what Raina likes to watch because they record cookies in through their software that every time Raina watches, they know what time she watches, what she watches, and how long she watches. So they know her habits. And what do they do every time she goes into, they promote the shows that they think she is going to watch. And what they do every week, they take reports from different parts of the world, and they know that Raina is a female. They probably know her age demographic based on their records and what she watches. And they compare all these numbers every week. And they look at everybody in Raina's demographic and say, we have 25,000 young women all watching this particular show at 9 p.m. on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. They don't watch anything else. And all these shows are Korean. And all these shows have good-looking Korean men in them. So what does Netflix do? They make more Korean drama with Korean men and put them on. So Netflix relies on the data they collect, but from people watching Netflix. Netflix doesn't just spend money making shows for nothing. They do market research. How do they do it? They go through the records of their customers and what they're watching. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Very good. Okay, guys, let's go on. So, what is the difference in the types of research that companies should do when they do market research? What are the different types of research? We have primary research, which includes interviews like Airbnb. All right. They actually talk to people on the street, asking them, if you went to Germany, what sort of accommodation would you like to see in a B&B? B&B collects information from every customer that uses Airbnb. They send them a survey after they check out, and they constantly use that in making sure they improve the booking experience, the payment experience, and the types of rooms, flats, or buildings they offer on the Airbnb website. Okay, B, focus groups. A focus group is when you arrange to meet a group of people of a certain age. So let me give you an example. Ed Robinson wants to open a new business, right? And his business is going to focus on working people between the age of 25 and 45. Okay, 25 and 45. But he's not sure of whether this business would work for them. So what he could do is arrange a focus group. He could invite 14, 15, 20, or 100 people in this age group to a gathering or a small party and use that to actually ask questions and record data. Do you understand that, Ed? So focus groups are expected to collect data from a certain type of customer demographic or a certain age group before you invest in making your idea a real business. All right? I'll give you an idea. It was tried many years ago. You know, I'm an Australian. All right? Everybody know Australia? Yes or no? Okay. This is a weird one. Don't get upset. I'm giving you this as an example. About 20 years ago, when I was at university, you know, I all ran away from home and decided to live in Sydney when I went to university because my father was a Scrooge. He used to call me silly for spending too much pocket money. So I got sick of being called silly. I decided one day to pack my bags, go and work, earn a living, and pay for my own education. 3 years later, my dad was really proud of me. He was upset though, because I left him without knowing where I am for 3 years. Okay, so, but there's something I learned while I was living in Sydney. I used to live in Bondi, near Bondi Beach. And in Bondi Beach, for many years, there was this beach, and some people used to use it as a nude beach where they used to swim nude without any clothes on. All right. So the Sydney government wanted to find out whether they should build a private nude beach. That means they should choose a beach, put a big wall around it, and make this only for people who want to go to a beach nude, sit on the sand with no clothes. Because not everybody wants that. I wouldn't go there. No way. So they had a focus group. They invited all of those who would go to a nude beach to a town hall, like a big hall gathering one night. And the local government expected like 50 people to turn up. Do you know how many people turned up, Butch? Nearly 500. And the local council was shocked. All these people want a nude beach? My God, what's happening? So after another month, they did another survey. They got more. They got 1,000 people. And you know what happened, ladies and gentlemen? They actually gave a license to a private company to open a nude beach club in Bondi. So people would pay $20 just to go and sit on the sand in an exclusive beach was only for people who were nude. All right? So they go to the beach, they take all their clothes off and sit on the sand. And they had to pay to do it at a private beach club because they can't do it at any beach. The police will arrest them. Okay, so why did the local government do that? It was based on demand. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Was it successful? Hell yeah. The company's making millions out of it only during summer. Okay, so it's the same thing. It's the same principle. You can have the craziest idea in the world. Yeah, in Bali, they also have beach clubs. Absolutely. But in Bali, they're not nude beach clubs. They have to be wearing clothes, but they got nightclubs, discos, and everything. But listen carefully, guys. It's any business idea you have. Don't ever say to yourself, oh, this is a stupid idea, it won't work. Every idea, no matter how stupid it is, the only way you're going to validate it is to do research. Don't ever write off an idea because your idea could be worth millions. I know a certain young lady that did her master's degree based on making chips out of tapioca. You all know tapioca chips? Now, when she wrote her master's degree, her professor told her, this was 15 years ago, this is a great idea, it's healthy, sell it to a manufacturer. She just filed her master's degree on the wall, on the library shelf. You know what happened 5 years later? Companies now are making millions out of tapioca chips. That girl is my wife. And now she keeps saying to me, I could have become the queen of tapioca chips. I didn't. I decided to have a daughter. Okay? Because she didn't have the confidence to research her idea. So I have to work harder now so she can spend my money because she doesn't make enough money. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Yes or no? So market research will always be your decision maker on introducing a new product, starting a new business. It all comes from market research. Let's go on. So we've talked about focus groups, and we said focus groups could be an expensive exercise. Product or service use research. Okay, you can employ a research company to do it. Okay, so for example, Dropbox, an online software, observed how new users interacted with its file sharing platform. The research showed that many users struggled during setup, leading Dropbox to redesign their software to make it easier to set up. I used Dropbox. It was really hard. In actual fact, I stopped using it. 6 months later, I started using it, and now I find it the easiest tool available. Dropbox is an online solution where you can share big files with other people. Okay, let's go on. The other way is via persona research, and this is where you go out and talk to people, ask them questions, so you become more centric about your customers. You can do segment research. And this is where you only talk to people of a certain age that live in a certain area. For example, Nike segments its customers by sport. For example, if they're promoting football shoes, they only talk to people who play football or watch football or work in the football industry. Market segmentation research. You could also base it on price. For example, helps businesses determine the price customers are willing to pay while ensuring the company remains profitable. Can I ask you a question? How many of you live in the Philippines? Any Philippine residents here? Okay. Can I ask you, how much would you pay for chicken adobo takeaway? Okay, Judy Ann, how much do you pay for chicken adobo if you buy it on the way home? Tell me, how many peso?
What do you mean, sir? The cook already or the raw?
Cooked, yeah, ready to eat. You stop at the
I
street,
think
you buy
right,
chicken
right.
adobo and rice. How much does it cost you?
I think right now, I don't know how much the price, sir.
Approximately 150 peso.
Oh, I think yes.
Okay. Well, I've been told somewhere between 80 and 150. I agree. In actual fact, I think it's about 80 to 200 right now. Okay, for one portion. That's two little pieces of chicken, the sauce,
Yes, I
and
think
some
three
rice.
pieces only. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Now let me ask you, Judy Ann, if I was to sell you adobo for 500 peso, would you buy it? No, probably not, right?
No.
No.
Instead of buy a pure, it's more than.
Yeah, because 500 peso would be above the amount that any Filipino office worker will spend on two pieces of chicken. They could buy their own chicken and cook it and get more value out of it, right? So price is a reason. You have to understand who's buying your product, how much will they spend on your product. Do you understand that, guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. 50 to 60 peso is usually the average street vendor price. If you go to one of those little cafes somewhere, it's anywhere up to 150 to 200 peso a portion. I usually stay at the Shangri-La in Manila, and they charge me 990 peso for chicken adobo and a bowl of rice. But that's a Shangri-La. Is it
Wow.
good? No. I rather
No.
the adobo on the street.
So pricey.
Exactly right. So it all comes back to price and preference. Okay. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Are you
Yes,
sure?
sir.
Okay. How many of you have a dentist? Does anybody go to the same dentist all the time? Put your hand up. Come on. Does anybody love the dentist? No? You all hate the dentist. Ah, you love the dentist, Ed? Okay, all right. Why'd you love the dentist, Ed? Tell me, why'd you love the dentist?
Because it's free from my company insurance.
All right. Okay. Can I ask you a question, Ed? I
Yeah.
have dental phobia. I have dental phobia. Can your dentist look after me?
You have dental phobia. My dentist can actually handle your phobia.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
does everybody know what dental phobia means? It means for me to go to the
You're
dentist,
scared.
they have to give me anesthesia and put me to sleep before they can touch my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
If I see the drill, my face will go yellow and that's it. I walk away. All right. I hate the drill and its sound. So now, every time I go to the dentist, I have to make an appointment with not just any dental clinic. I have to make an appointment with a dental surgeon who has the right dental phobia service. That means he has an anesthesiologist. You go there, the anesthesiast puts a tube in your hand, puts you to sleep. The dentist does all the work before you wake up. Now, it costs me more money, but I'm using the dentist as an example because it's a specialized field, right? There's many dental clinics in the Philippines. But if you have dental phobia, none of them can service you. You need one of the better ones, the one that has a specialized anesthesiologist to do it, and that costs more money. It all comes back down to market research. Now, do you think there's many dentists that do it? No, because most people don't suffer that condition. Ed will tell you if anybody has a filling, they'll go to any dentist. He gives them a local anesthetic and that's it, right? No way. For me, not possible. Why did that happen to me? I don't know. I really don't. Okay. My daughter loves the dentist. I take her to the dentist for her annual checkup. I wait outside because I can't handle the noise of the drill. And her dentist is great. After every appointment, the dentist gives her a lollipop and she can't wait to go back the next time. All right. Okay. He gives her her own favorite flavor toothpaste, which she uses, strawberry or banana, whatever she uses. She's got her own battery operated toothbrush that she uses every morning and night. Okay. But it's a different customer. It's a different market. It's a different need. It's a different demographic. Do you understand what I mean by demographic? It's a type of customer that will need a particular good or service. Do you understand that, Ronald? Yes or no, Ronald? Thank you for that, Ed. All right, let's keep going. All right, so pricing research, customer satisfaction, and loyalty research. Apple, for example, collects regular customer feedback after they purchase new products, because when you purchase a new product, you have to register that product with Apple and give them data about yourself. So Apple use that data to actually understand customer feedback, because Apple can read how you use your iPhone through the back end. Now, I'm not sure if you all know or not, but every time you use your iPhone or your iPhone encounters a problem, Apple actually get reports in their system based on the IMEI number of that iPhone that you're using. Does everybody understand that? So Apple does not collect private data. They don't know what you've got stored in your phone. The only data they collect is about the technical working of the phone. How many times you switch it on and off, how many times you surf the internet, how long you talk for, how many times you use it in the morning or at night, and any faults that the phone reports back to the manufacturer. I mean technical faults, not personal data. Okay? Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? All right, good. Okay, guys, so customer satisfaction, again, Starbucks, loyalty cards. They know how many drinks you buy, how often you buy them. They use this as part of their research when they want to introduce new products. And secondary market research, the other type of research. This where you use external sources. Remember, primary research is when you collect information from your customers or use information that your computer system records about customers. Secondary research is when you actually buy the information from a research company or based on an industry report. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Very good. Judy Ann, do you understand what I mean by that, Judy Ann? Oh, sorry. Very good. Okay. Miami, do you understand what I mean by that? Miami, Colonia? Thank you very much. Okay, what about you, Hung Singh? Do you understand what I'm saying, Hung? Very good. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Twee Quinn. Noted. All right, let's go back to our lesson. All right, guys. So we've looked at primary research and we've looked at secondary research. Okay, competitive research analysis. What do we mean by this? Why do we do competitive analysis research? Competitive analysis research involves studying your competitors, their products, their pricing, their marketing strategies, their strengths and their weaknesses. For example, this helps the business improve their product to make it better, make sure their price is competitive so that they try to win over the competition's customer. For example, PopMart analyzed other collectible toy companies and found that few competitors had stores in Australia. The company decided, based on the large population in Australia, to enter the market, allowing it to reach customers, and before their competitors from China came in with cheaper products. I'm proud to say that PopMart is still a leading brand in Australia. However, they are expensive. But some of the stuff they sell, the China companies cannot reproduce to the same extent. However, some people don't mind. They prefer the cheaper version. But PopMart went into the Australian market fairly early and has become successful. All right, brand awareness research. Brand awareness research measures how familiar customers are with a brand and how they perceive it. Now, usually, this one here, competitive analysis research, some people or most companies do it themselves, but brand awareness research is usually something they use an external agency to do. For example, L'Oreal Cosmetics studied customer opinions and social conversations through a research agency, okay, before launching its Worth Saying campaign. The research showed that many consumers wanted empowering messages, leading the company to create a campaign focused on giving women stronger confidence and encouraging them to look more professional and make meaningful statements by wearing L'Oreal products. Campaign research is important. Starbucks reviewed data from its previous digital marketing campaign. As you know, Starbucks offers you a loyalty card. Does everybody here have a loyalty card at Starbucks? Put your hand up. Who has a loyalty card? No one? You have one, Ed? Okay. All right, we've got a few. All right, obviously you're not coffeeholics like your teacher. Mr. Wally drinks 10 to 12 shots of espresso a day. And as Miss Anu will tell you, if I have a really bad day, I can drink 21 shots of espresso. But she knows I'm a nice guy. I don't have a really bad day that often. But usually I have a bad day when one of my students fails and they come complaining to me. And I ask them, why did you fail? Oh, sir, I was too busy to study. I went on a date with my boyfriend yesterday. I didn't study. Can I do the exam again, please? I get very upset about that because somebody forgot that their exam and their future is more important, right? So, but otherwise, I'm a coffeeholic. So remember, Starbucks know from my loyalty card, where is my loyalty card? I don't know where it is. They know how many coffees I drink every day. They know exactly what types of coffee I drink every day. And Starbucks know when my birthday is because you have to tell them that when you get your card, and every birthday they send you a voucher for your favorite drink. But I'm a cheap customer. I only drink double espresso, the cheapest drink on their menu. So every year my birthday drink is only a free double espresso. I should have been like Raina. I should have made it, frappuccino with double chocolate and marshmallows, top of the menu. That would have really cost them money. All right. But do you understand what I mean? So companies use loyalty card data in order to come up with new products and reprice their products. Do any of you go to a supermarket with a loyalty card? Anyone? Do you know what the supermarkets do with your loyalty information? Does anyone know? Ed, do you know? No? Okay, I'll tell you what they do. Fair Price and the lot. They collect data through their loyalty program. They know what brand chicken everybody's buying. They know how many people buy Coca-Cola or Pepsi based on the loyalty program, because every time you go there and you buy groceries, they enter your loyalty card number. So Fair Price know what products you're buying. You know what they do with that data? They give it to Coca-Cola. They say, come here. Here's 500,000 customers who have loyalty cards with us. these are the statistics on Coca-Cola drinks. Do you know what Coca-Cola does with that? They make sure that they put the most popular ones, they put more stock at NTUC, and they always have promotions. Why? Because the NTUC loyalty card data that NTUC gives to Coca-Cola tells them about the buying patterns at NTUC or the supermarket you're dealing with. Do you understand that? Supermarkets don't collect loyalty information for nothing. They use that as a bargaining tool when they buy from their suppliers. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, competitive intelligence research. Again, this is where you employ an agency to find out what is happening with another brand or whether they're coming up with a new design or something so that you can do the same and remain competitive. All right, so let's talk about questions that you can use to find out what your customers want and how you can start being competitive. All right, let's go through this. So let's look at primary research versus secondary research. Primary research, the data comes firsthand from your customers, whether it's data they've given you through a loyalty card or recorded in your system. Secondary research means pre-existing data that you buy from the industry or you actually learn from your competitors. Cost. Primary research means higher surveys, higher because it costs you more to do surveys, interviews, and you require a budget for primary research. Secondary research is data that's already published in magazines or it's in your industry being talked about. The time required. You need more time to do primary research and collect data, but it's faster if you actually have industry data or you can buy it. Accuracy, of course, your primary research is much more accurate because it's customized based on your company, its loyalty card, or the way you collect data. Secondary research can vary, depends on who you buy it from and how credible they are. Use cases. All right, primary research, they do it for new product testing, pricing analysis, customer feedback, change in customer buying patterns, etc. Secondary market research, usually to assess competitors and what's happening in the industry. All right, so let's talk about market research and let's talk about how to do market research step by step. Take note, please. First, define your research goals. What product or service are you researching for? Identify who your customers are. Is it working girls in the, say, from 23 to 35, career girls? Is it elderly retired women? Is it mothers? Is it schoolgirls? Define your research hypothesis. What are you researching? What sort of nail polish they want, how much they're prepared to pay, etc. Decide what research method you're going to use. Start your research. For me, I would start on the road, on the street, showing them my product and asking them to tell me whether they'd buy it and how much they'd pay for it. After you've done that, you then have to compare your results against any company which you consider would be your competitor. And then you have to analyze all the data and make a decision whether you will start making that product and selling that product or service. All right, so define your research goals, as we've said. Identify your ideal customers. Guys, please listen, this is very important. Your demographics, you mean you have to look at the age, gender, location, income, education, and occupation. Psychographics, their lifestyle, their interest, their values, their attitudes, their buying behavior, their needs and challenges, buying preferences. Do they like to go to the shop? Do they like to buy online? And what makes them buy? What influences them? All this comes back to being centric. Example, Spotify identified many young professionals and students wanted a better way to listen to music without having to go to a CD shop and buying the CD. Through customer research, Spotify created buyer personas based on age, lifestyle, and habits, and now they can create personalized playlists for everybody with a Spotify account. Number 3, define your research hypothesis. That means you have to actually define what you're going to research. Example of hypothesis, research hypothesis. Customers who subscribe to a membership program are more likely to make repeat purchases. Somebody who has a Starbucks loyalty card will, of course, go back to Starbucks every time and not go to Lucan or Coffee Bean, because Starbucks gives them points based on every purchase, and they can convert those points into free drinks, for example. Okay, let's go on. Step 4, choosing the right research method. You have to decide how much you spend on primary research, how much you spend on secondary research. But remember, if you're a new business, you are a business that's introducing a new product, you're always should start with primary research, which basically will give you more accurate methods. Because if you're investing money to open your own company, you want accurate research. You don't want to buy information which could end up being all wrong and you have wasted your investment. Okay, example, Starbucks planned to introduce a new seasonal beverage. The company first reviewed industry reports and coffee market trends, which is secondary research, and then they conducted customer surveys, taste testing sessions at their stores. They looked at the loyalty card data and they did primary research to confirm what the secondary research told them. Start the research. Ask open-ended questions. Keep questions neutral. Organize interviews. Thank participants. And at the end, analyze the data. Okay, sample research flow. Very, very simple. Warm up. Build rapport with the participants by asking simple background questions. For example, good afternoon, ma'am. What type of products do you usually buy when you think of cosmetics? Awareness. What made you start looking for more expensive cosmetics? Consideration. Which brands would you buy today if I gave you $100 to go cosmetic shopping? Decision. Tell me, when you buy your cosmetics, what is the most important thing that you look for before you buy it? Is it the price, the quality, or what other people say about it? And you don't tell them, do you think my product is best? You don't ask that, because their answer will never be true. You ask, tell me, what improvements would you like to see in this makeup product? What is there something that you'd like a company to do to make it better for you? All right, step 6, analyze the competitive landscape. And this is where you use a common tool called SWOT analysis. What is SWOT analysis? This is where you look at the strengths, what makes the brand strong, the weaknesses, what complaints the customers have about this product that you can use to make your product better, what opportunities or what are your competitors not doing that you can do, and what external factors could impact their growth? Is there any new companies coming in to sell the same product as you? Is there any change in government regulations? Is there an economic downturn? Is inflation going up, which would make your product more expensive? SWOT analysis. This is a must for any new business owner. You need to analyze the data. You need to ask yourself, well, out of all the primary and secondary research, what is the most important information I've gathered? Based on the information, what do customers really want? What makes the customers buy this type of product? And if there is things that customers want fixed or improved on the competitor's product, which one of these will bring me the biggest chunk of my competitor's customers? So I go ahead and do it. And what opportunities based on the data can I maximize? What do I need to do to my products and pricing to maximize sales? All of these questions can be answered through either primary or secondary research. Okay, these are some questions, and these are different examples about different types of businesses. Let's first look at a cafe business, okay? Okay, key questions, sales and products. What are our best-selling drinks and food items, and when do sales peak? Sample insight. Answer, lattes, pastries sell fastest during 8 to 10 a.m. rush. Now, how do you get that data? You get it from your own cash register or POS system. Customer drivers. What influences customers' choice of cafes? Coffee quality, price, ambience, or location. Sample insight. Regulars value fast service. We offer free Wi-Fi and regulars get a 10% discount. Problems to fix. Which complaints do we get from customers that we should fix? Is it because customers find that we get very busy in the morning and there's long waiting times? Or is it because we don't have enough seats? Or is it because our menu is not big enough? Okay, the last one, growth opportunities. What can help the cafe grow a loyalty program, new menu items, or delivery? Well, that's easy. All you need is a rewards app, and that app could, if you get your customers to use that app, they will come to you more often because they now get reward points for visiting your store and buying your products. So this was for a coffee shop. Now let's go to another one. What is this for? Let's have a look. I think this is for a fashion store, right? Yeah, it is for a ladies' fashion store. Okay, let's look at it. So again, which clothing categories and styles sell best and in which season? For example, dresses and knitwear peak ahead of holiday and season changes, especially in countries where it's cold during winter. As they approach Christmas, some countries have snow. Customer drivers. What drives the customer? Is it the price, the style, the sizes? What is it? Problems to fix. Which issues should we fix first? The high number of returns because they found the size was wrong. Slow delivery, slow shipping, people are not buying from us. Growth opportunities. What can grow the store? Do we need more social media ads, more influencer ads, or do we need to do more promotions out on the street promoting our products? Or do we need to send more messages through mobile phone apps? All right, all of these simple key questions you should learn how to ask when you want to do market research. And the sample insight will tell you about what sort of answers you should be looking for. Okay, we've got one more here, I think. Let's go through it. Yeah, okay. This is about a beauty salon, I think, right? Yeah, this one asks you Korean hairdressing and beauty salon. What should they ask during market research? Okay, which services and styles book most? Is it cuts, color, perms, or K-beauty treatments? Sample insights, trend-led color and Korean perms drive the highest margin bookings, and they are the most expensive services. Customer drivers, what keeps clients loyal? The stylist skill on trend, the styles, K-styles, the price, or the salon experience. It could be clients return for a trusted stylist that they like and consistent service, and they're not really worried about the price. Problems to fix. Which issues should we fix first? Long waiting times, no-shows, or booking hassles? All right, so the sample could be cutting no-shows with reminders, and deposits is a top priority. So if you want to make people show up for appointments, you make them pay a deposit to guarantee their appointment. Growth opportunities. What can grow the salon? Social media reels, membership packages, or retail K-beauty products? So you need to ask yourself, do we need before, after reels and K-beauty retail add-ons? For example, you need to show videos of people before they came, when they walked in, and what they looked like after. You need them to tell people how happy they are with their new look. Regarding products, you need to say, well, hold on, which products do most girls buy after their treatment? Is it hairspray, or what sort of products? And what can you do to make them feel more needy of those products? Should you get the stylist to talk about the products, or how do you sell those products? So basically what you've seen here, guys, is a set of sample questions that you could use through market research. Does everybody understand these questions? Yes or no? Yes or no? Wave your hands for me. Come on, guys. Thank you, Muhammad Islam. Thank you, everyone. Okay. All right, so let's go on. All right, guys. So the only thing to remember when you do surveys is keep them short. Use secondary data before conducting primary research if the secondary data is available, and then do primary research to confirm it. Conduct brand research, understand who your target audience is, make sure you have the right demographics, avoid making assumptions. Do you all know the saying about making assumptions? Does everybody know the magic saying? I'm sure Anu knows it, but does everybody know? To assume is to be and what? Who can tell me? Anyone know? Come on, Ed, you should know this one. To assume is to be and? Anyone know? No one know? Come on, you've all heard it before. Anybody the academic saying is, to assume is to be an ass. No one in business should assume. You should always make decisions based on fact or experience, not assumptions. Have you heard that, Ed? Great. Do you believe in it, Ed? Sometimes? Right. I think it's sometimes too, because I made a lot of assumptions and they've come true. Okay. All right. But the general consensus is to assume is to be an ass, unless the assumption is educated based on your experience. All right. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Marites, do you understand that, Marites? Okay. All right, let's go on, guys. All right, so communicate clearly, ask simple questions, and collect data. Be transparent about data collection. Example, tell customers that you're planning to open a business or introduce a product. Be honest with them. And always keep the research short and brief. Always validate your findings with external research. So if you do secondary research, validate it with primary research. If you do primary research, try to validate it with external research. Continuously refine your business ideas and always get feedback from your customers and monitor your customers' buying trends. All right, so guys, what this brings us now is to a question: how to stay competitive with research? This is a simple question, and I think you all know the answer. How does research make you stay competitive? Does anyone know? What can research do to make you stay competitive? Yes, Muhammad, go ahead. Nice to hear from you, Muhammad Islam. How can research make you competitive, Muhammad?
Well, sir, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak here.
Very
Sir,
good.
we
And
first
what
of all,
else?
we just explain very well that market research is the basic thing for everything. We must know the competitor data. We know about the competition in the market, then easy for us to hit our product in the market.
Right,
First of all,
okay.
research based in primary research and then the secondary research. But for the new outlet or for the new business, primary research is easy as compared to the secondary researcher. When we
Very good.
know
Okay.
everything about the market, our
Right.
competition, uh, what what are the benefit, what are they doing in the market, the competitor, how they promote their product, then we easily know on the market analysis and research based, we can hit our product easily. But at least we know the competitor and good data, clear data management. If the data is clear, we can easily collect the data from the market and then we can make our product available for the customer to be used in the market side.
Very good. Thank you, Mohammed. So, ladies and gentlemen, market research can definitely help a business or a product. If today Raina wanted to open her own fashion or beauty shop, before she invests money, probably $80,000 to $100,000 to open a beauty salon with all the equipment, she'd want to make sure that she has the right people to make young girls look beautiful. She'd probably have to employ stylists from Korea, Italy, and France to attract customers. But before she'd do that, she would have to know whether girls in her city are interested in fashions from those countries. All right? They may not like it. They might not like Korean looks. They might like more American looks. So before she invests in the business and loses her lifetime savings, she doesn't want to copy, because if you copy, you fail. You always need to find out what are the problems in the market and offer your consumers a solution to those problems with a new idea or making something better. That's when you become profitable. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Let me give Raina an example. If Raina said, listen, the Korean place down the road is making money, so what I'll do is I'll open a place, but I won't bring in Koreans. I'll just use local Filipino guys and I'll tell them to copy what the Koreans are doing. Does she have a chance for success? No, because the reality is the consumer wants Korean. Is he going to come to her or go to a Korean? He's going to go to a Korean, because remember, the consumer is not always focused on price. The consumer is focused on a particular product or service that makes them feel happy. When do consumers buy? When they want or when they need? Who can tell me? Put up your hand. Does a customer buy when they want something, Michelle? city or when they need something? Who can answer? Put up your hand. Come on. When do they buy it? Marites, when do people buy? No problems in. Okay, yeah. Hi, Nova. When do people buy?
Maybe for me, sir, first people always buy their needs. And of
So
course, some people
yes.
buy their needs and some people buy their wants also.
No, very wrong. People never buy when they want. They start
People,
wanting something. But when do they give their cash? Only when something makes them feel that they need it. Would you agree with that?
yeah, maybe.
What do you mean, maybe? Can I ask you, how many times do you buy when you don't need?
Maybe most of the time is like 80% need and 20% want.
So, okay, all right, but hold on. So what you're contradicting yourself, young lady. Nova goes out with her girlfriend. The girlfriend buys purple nail polish. Nova doesn't really want it, but her girlfriend says, "Hey, stop being stingy. This will look good on you. Your boyfriend will like it." So Nova buys it. Does she need it? No. She's got pink nail polish. Why did she buy it? Peer pressure. But peer pressure made her feel as if she needs it. The only reason she bought it is because peer pressure made her need it, or psychologically she thought she needs it. But academically, Nova, people only buy because either they really need it or psychologically they think they need it. You understand that, Nova?
Yes.
Very good, young lady. Nice to see your beautiful smile. Thank you, Nova. All right. Does everybody understand that, ladies and gentlemen? Academically, people only buy if they need something. I want you to write this down. This is Wally's philosophy. Why sell when people buy? Listen carefully. Listen. The academic supposition says, why sell when people will buy? Does everybody understand what I mean by that supposition? Listen carefully. If you provide a product which is better than your competitor at the right price, and people will need your product at some point of their life, you don't have to sell it because they're going to come and buy it. Because your product is better than your competitor, it is at a better price than your competitor, or is it at the same price for your competitor, providing you can convince the customer that there is value in your product, more value than your competitor, they will buy your product because they need it. Do you understand that, everyone? Can I ask you, when do you go to a restaurant? When do you go to a restaurant? Is it because you're full and no room to eat, or is it because you're hungry? You go to a restaurant because you're hungry, you want to eat, right? Yes or no? The only decision is which restaurant, but you're still going to go to a restaurant. You need to eat. Would you agree with that? Yes or no? I'll ask you one more stupid question. When do you go to the toilet? Is it just because you want to sit in the toilet and it's quiet, or is it because you need to go to the toilet, right? You need to go to the toilet. It's not because you want to go to the toilet, sit there and look at the wall. No one goes to the toilet to look at the wall. They go to the toilet because they need to go to the toilet. Would you all agree with that? Yes or no? Come on. Does anybody here go to the toilet to read a book? Come on, don't tell me you go to the toilet and read. Come on. Butch, do you go to the toilet to read a book? Does anyone do it? No? I used to do it when I used to go to boarding school. I used to take porno magazines and read them in the toilet because if the teacher caught us, we'd get punished. So we used to buy the cartoon porno magazine, go to the toilet, look at it, and then the other boy would look at it, and the last boy that looked at it would throw it in the bin. The teacher would never find out who bought it. But I don't do that anymore. That's when I was 13 years old at boarding school, all right? But people don't go to the toilet unless they need to go to the toilet, right? Okay? All right. So back then I needed to look at the magazine. There was still a need, but it was the wrong need. Okay. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Now Raina's laughing at me. Come on, Raina. Every kid does it. I'm sure when you were a kid, you went behind the toilets to try a cigarette for the first time, right, Raina? Come on, don't lie to me, Raina. Okay, there you go. Okay, did she need to try it? No. Peer pressure. Her friends tried, so she tried. Okay? Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay, so does everybody understand what I'm talking about now? You don't, if you have a product that people need, people will buy it. It's just you have to market it in the right way so they know that your product exists. That's all you have to do. Do you understand that? Yes or no? The best salesman in the world will sell a brand new car to Butch without asking Butch, what is your budget? The only salesperson that will ask Butch, what is your budget, is an incompetent salesman that can't sell. If the salesman focuses on understanding what type of car Butch wants and why he wants it and why is he buying a car, the salesman will then tell Butch that this car will do this for you. And at the end of the day, he'll say to Butch, Butch, you told me that you need a car that's going to save you money on fuel and save you from losing your job because right now you're 20 minutes late every day with public transport. So if I could give you a car that does that, do you want to drive a car home today? Butch is going to say yes, right, Butch? So the next thing the salesperson has to do is not even ask, how would you like to pay for the car? Can I get you a bank loan approved now, or do you already have a credit? You already have a loan arranged, all right? Because what I'm doing is providing the customer something that they need. Why sell when people buy? If they come to you and say, I want to buy this, and you ask them, why do you want it? And explain to them that this product will solve their problem, they will buy it, right? Why do they go to the toilet? Because they need the toilet. Why do they go to the restaurant? Because they're hungry and they need to eat. Why do they buy the car? Because they need it to drive to work. Why do they go to the doctor? Because they need to see a doctor, they're sick. Does everybody understand this? Yes or no? Put your hands up, guys, please. Come on. Irma May, can you put your hand up, young lady? Wave to me, Irma. Come on, Irma. Wave, Irma. Good girl. Excellent, Irma. What about you, Shinta? Can you wave your hand, Shinta? Are you listening to Wally? Wave your hand. Good girl. Joshua, wave your hand. Are you listening to my lecture? Good man. Excellent. All right. So does everybody understand what I've said? Yes or no? Good. Excellent. All right. So remember, next time you go to buy a car, Butch, if a salesman says, what's your budget? You say, thank you very much. I'll go to the place next door. All right. Okay, good. Let's go on. Okay, guys. So always analyze your competitor, understand your market, and remember that market surveys or market research are critical. Always listen to industry trends. Listen to what your industry competitors are doing. Do not rely on it, but use it as a guide and do more research. Test new ideas before launching. Competitor analysis matrix. Look at who your competitors are. Okay, put your competitors on a matrix. Okay, product quality, price, the level of customer service, the brand reputation, innovation, reliability, design, quality of material. Do this for all your competitors based on your product and use SWOT. Okay, positioning based research. Again, it all comes back to what the customers value the most, what problems are competitors not solving, what makes your product better. Continuous research. You should be doing research all the time to improve your product and bring out new products. How do you do continuous research? You always collect customer feedback. Continuously, you analyze the data. On a regular basis, you look at what customers are telling you and how you can make your product or service better. You constantly look at your results and continuously try to offer more products to generate more sales. So remember, always collect the data. How do you collect the data? Ask yourself, is the problem painful and frequent? How bad is the problem? How can my product or service fix it? For example, Zoom fixed unreliable, clunky online meetings with easy video calls and grew fast worldwide. What made Zoom the most profitable online meeting company in the world? COVID, because everybody suddenly needed an online work or meeting place. Apply the 3-question filter. Example, Spotify. Okay, but before that, are customers already spending money here? How much are they spending? That proves that people are prepared to spend that sort of money on this type of product or service. Example, Spotify people already paid for music, so it offered affordable unlimited streaming and people paid for it because they were already paying for Spotify. They were paying for it. They liked it. They tried it. So now more people are paying for Spotify. It's cheaper than buying CDs. Take action. Can you win at one specific thing? Don't try to be the best at everything. Pick one product or service you can clearly win and stand out from the rivals. Example, FedEx focused on fast, reliable overnight delivery instead of every shipping type. They only use air. They fly all their cargo by air. They're focused on the most reliable and efficient shipping. They don't use road. They don't use train. They use aircraft. All right, so all of this we've answered in the table. Now, remember here, these are questions that I just want to go through with you before we finish today. These are leading questions, and leading questions are questions you should avoid because when you use a leading question to a customer, they may be scared, afraid, or intimidated. For example, do you love our freshly brewed coffee? They may be too embarrassed to say no. So the best way to get the right answer is to ask them, how would you describe the taste of our coffee? Another one, isn't our coffee the coziest coffee shop in town? They might be afraid to disagree with you. You would say, what do you think of the atmosphere or ambience at our cafe? Can we make it better? Would you like more comfortable sofas? Or wouldn't you agree our prices are fair? Again, they might be afraid to say no. You could say, how do you feel about our pricing? Does everybody understand what I mean by defensive avoidance questions rather than neutral, better questions? Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? All right, let's go to the other. This is for the coffee shop. Let's go to the other type of business. This one is for the online fashion business. Again, do you think our dresses are stylish? We could say, how would you describe our style or the design of our clothing? Do you like it? Would you like to see other designs? What sort of designs would you like to see? Or, isn't our website easy to shop on? They're afraid to say no. So to ask it and get a more honest answer, you would say, how was your experience with our website? Is there anything we can improve? Okay, let's go to the last one. This one is very important. Don't you love how fast our delivery is? You wouldn't use that. You would say, how would you rate our delivery experience? Are you happy with how fast we deliver? Do you see why neutral questions will get you a more honest answer, everyone? Yes or no? Okay, let's try the next one. Okay, here. Don't you think your new hairstyle looks amazing? How do you feel about your new hair look? Or how do you feel about your new hair turned out? Or, isn't it easy to book an appointment with us? You could say, how was your experience booking an appointment this time? Okay, or you'd recommend our stylist to a friend, right? They're afraid to say no, they'll just lie to you. So to get a more honest answer, you'd say, how likely are you to recommend our salon and your stylist? Does everybody understand why we don't use leading questions? Because when you lead, the customer will avoid by just agreeing with you. And that means the data you collect is not accurate. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Okay, so you have to go from leading questions to easy questions. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Yes or no? Use neutral, easy questions, better questions. Okay, guys. All right, so remember, I have given you here a 7-day action plan for you to use in order to do market research. Day 1 and 2, study the market you want to go into. Look at the market and see how many competitors you have, and then start examining their prices. For example, Freshbox mapped 5 rivals: GrabFood, Food Panda, Salad Stop, and 2 local kitchens comparing price. Now, this is a 7-day plan for a new business called Freshbox. They want to sell healthy meal delivery. On days 3 and 5, they went out on the street and talked to potential customers. On day 6, they created a 1-page summary of all the problems that their customers told them about and the suggested solutions. For example, office workers and students, no time to cook. Affordable subscription, same-day delivery, the meal should be between $6 and $8. Day 7 decision, weigh up the evidence and decide process, or forget it and look for a new business idea. So what I'm saying here, guys, is this is a simple 7-day action plan that you can use to do market research if you're seriously considering opening a business. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? I'm going to leave you with some very important words, and everybody knows the words, right? What does Mr. Wally tell you at the end of every BizTalk? It starts with a capital B and it ends with an F. What is it? Come on, don't tell me you forgot. Anu knows it. I tell her that every day at work, I think, or most days when I get time. What is the most important thing you should remember in life? I believe in myself. Everybody all together, let's say it. I believe in myself. I can. All right? Don't ever let anyone tell you you're not good enough. Don't ever let your mother and father tell you, listen, you're not smart enough. Go and get a job in a factory. That's absolute crap. No one fails. People fail to make any effort to try and learn from their mistakes. No one is a failure. Some people are lazy, but no one is a failure. Does everybody understand this? Yes or no? Yes or no? Hey guys, I used to clean toilets at McDonald's. Do you think I ever thought I would be teaching today? No, but I did it because I believed in myself. Do you understand that? Yes or no? I went from a $3 an hour toilet cleaner to head of a teaching faculty with more than 43 lecturers on staff. Do you understand that? Yes or no? So if I can do it, you can do it, right? Yes or no? If Anul can sit here and listen to me for 2 hours, 3 times a month, so can you, right? Yes or no? No? Okay. All right. Okay, Anu's smiling. All right. Guys, has everybody learnt something from today's subject? Yes or no? Now, listen, I know that some of you are waiting for me to do BizTalk about how to raise finance for a business and how to calculate your finances for a business. I promise you that's coming either in BizTalk number 156 or 157. That today is 155, so one of the next two BizTalks will cover that subject.